What up, though, everybody? It's Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Pods of the Rap Cave Podcast. We are back for another little side quest episode. I got my dog with me, Birdiie. And then I got my boy, Big AP, on the ones and twos. Shout out to you. Look, we love lists. Lists are always fun because no matter who makes them, they are always wrong to everybody for different reasons. So no matter what, it's just A1 content always. That's why I'm a list guy. Complex put out their list of 50 best LA rappers of all time. And then that prompted Game to jump in and make his 100 best LA artists of all time, LA rappers. So, let's start with some of the notables of the complex list. So some of the notables of the complex list, I got them right here. Was you had this is that. Okay, so you had number 1 Kendrick, number 2 Snoop, 3 Ice Cube, 4 Dr. Dre, 5 Tyler the Creator. 6 DJ Quick, 7 Ice-T, 8 Be Real, 9 Eazy-E, 10 Nipsey Hussle, 11 Game. And then some other notable rankings. You had YG at 15, Schoolboy Q at 17, Earl Sweatshirt and Vince Staples at 22 and 23, respectively. Doja Cat at 26, Tyga 25, J-Rock 29, and then Absol at 43. I've seen a lot of people making noise about that. Coolio at 40. And rounding out the top 50 LA rappers of all time list is Blueface at number 50. So, those are some of the names to name. We can get into specifics if you want, but that was that list. And then we will compare it to Game's list, which was, again, I'm not going through all his top 100, but he had number 1, Tupac, who was left off of the LA rappers list on Complex.
Oh yeah, that's
that was
a good point.
That was a conversation. We'll get to that part. 2 was Snoop Dogg, 3 was Ice Cube, 4 was Kendrick, 5 was Game in his list, 6 Corrupt, 7 DJ Quick, 8 Dr. Dre, 9 Eazy-E, 10 Exhibit, 11 Nipsey Hussle, 12 Ice-T. And then 13 Be Real, 14 Tyler the Creator. Then you had Dom Kennedy at 16. You had Schoolboy Q at 20 on his list. Warren G at 21, similar to...
you skip YG.
Oh, where was YG at? I'm sorry. YG was at 15. Okay, shout out to YG. J-Rock was at 25 on Game's list. Absol was 27 on Game's list. Roddy Ricch was 31. He was like 27 or 26 on the last one. Vince Staples was 37 on Game's list. I don't think he had. Does he have Earl Sweatshirt on here? Yeah, he does have Earl Sweatshirt at 56. He has Earl Sweatshirt at 56. Ray Vaughn at 60. And then he got into a lot of the smaller artists. He had AZ Chike on his list. He had Westside Boogie. He had Buddy. He had a lot of dope rappers that I really like. Problem as well. Filling up the back.
Too, boy.
He does have Heat on there.
Coming up.
He has D
tell
Smoke
niggas.
on there. He has D Smoke on there.
Yeah, stop playing. I'm trying
So
to tell
his
niggas,
big thing was
yeah.
it's not it's not where you're from, it's how you identify. So him having Tupac on the list versus Complex not putting Tupac on the list because famously he is not from LA, although pretty much all of his big music career is in LA, and he very much obviously repped the West Coast during his time here. I guess since you brought up, we can have that conversation. Actually, before we have that conversation, whose list was better? Whose list did you like more? Kind of just skimming through it, perusing through it. Did you like Game's list more, or did you like the Complex list more?
I think I like the complex list more.
Complexes more. Because for one, I always say like West Coast like to pick and choose when Tupac is a West Coast man. Like, you feel me?
I don't think they ever don't choose him.
Yeah, shit, you go to that situation before he died where he fought that one Crip in that at MGM. They be like, oh, that's because he ain't really from the West Coast. He don't know West Coast politics. He really from the East Coast. That's why he did that. That's when they don't want to claim him. But as soon as we get to talk about legends and good music, West up.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, he a real West brother. Yeah, fuck all that.
It's only when it's
from New
convenient,
York,
right?
He from New York, and I'm gonna make him a New York artist. That's how I feel. If I moved over to motherfucking California right now and just started rapping on California beats, I don't think they would accept me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So
in fact, that code switching would not fly at all today with anybody. Really,
that would not fly at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
not to mention, he's actually from Baltimore anyway.
He from Baltimore?
Isn't
Yeah,
he was
Baltimore.
Born in Baltimore,
Okay.
and then he moved to New York.
New York, okay. All I knew was New York. All I knew was New York. Okay. Yeah.
East Coast in general.
Yeah, he's just an East Coast guy. You know what I'm saying? A real East Coast dude.
Then all of a sudden he took one trip to California. Now his shirt's off. He got G-shorts on. Yeah, exactly. Like,
fuck out of here, dog.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that part. To me, it is about, he put his time here, and look, he ultimately died because of not again, he didn't die directly because of the beef, but it was the East West Coast.
Is that what
beef.
you just said? He put his time in?
Absolutely.
With the West?
Shout out. Hey, you met my boy Maz today. You met my boy Maz today. Dual citizenship, my boy.
When did he start rapping with the West Coast?
When he started rapping, basically.
When he got out of jail and signed the motherfucking Suge Knight. That was not a long time.
No.
That was not a long time whatsoever.
Well,
so
his raps before that were West.
I mean,
not
sure,
as
I guess.
much.
I guess I give
not
you
as
that,
much,
but I'm trying to think.
His
I don't
whole
know.
music
I don't
career
know.
was
I
out in
can't,
LA.
I can't really think because I wasn't born back then, so I don't know what music
I
was
wasn't
before.
either, for the record.
Before he went to what West Coast music West Coast on the music he was making before he went to jail and after. I can't really pinpoint that because obviously I wasn't born then. But
yeah, I mean I wasn't either. But just listen to and also just for a fact, I'm pretty sure almost his whole music career was in LA. So even when he wasn't necessarily making
I don't know.
LA
like
music,
when I hear songs like When My Homies Call or Brenda's Got a Baby or like shit like that, like that don't really give me like no West Coast type sound, you know what I'm saying? Like, and When My Homies Call, that was the first excuse me, y'all. When my homies called, that was the first Tupac song I ever liked. So that's how I seen him that's the light I seen him in when I first heard him. So it wasn't really like West Coast, like when I'm listening to Snoop Dogg and Gin and Juice and shit, like those the vibes. You know what I'm saying?
I think when it comes to these lists, I like Games better for a few reasons. One, I kind of like that top 10 a little bit more that Game has than Complex, partially because of Game's ranking of himself. I just feel like personally, and we'll get to this part of the conversation, but I think the top four, if you're excluding Pac from the conversation, or if you're including Pac, then the top five is probably pretty unanimous across the board of Kendrick, Snoop, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and then Pac if he counts. I think that's probably a pretty almost unanimous top five for the West. And then I like that. To me, I don't think you can get to 6-7 artists before you have to mention Game. Like, he's just like I don't see a world like 11 to me is crazy in respect to the people that are above him. But I think they're great artists in their own right. But like the Game, bro, he had the West on his back. He had album after album of great material. Like, I think
personally, I'm taking the Game. I'm sliding them where Dr. Dre at and bumping everybody else up.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
So wait, so where's Dr.
Dre would be number 5.
Okay, got you. Yeah. So we could kind of get into kind of like our biggest like overrate and underrate of the list. But to me, I like the Game list too because it became 100 instead of like top 50. Like, you did see Buddy on that list. You did see Westside Boogie. You did see all of these artists that I really think are talented from the West Coast that I thoroughly enjoy. Well, I can see you making a list and them not being on it because of for top 50 reasons, and also just for reasons of like I mean, come on, do we have to name 100 LA artists? And we'll get to that kind of conversation when we talk about the regions.
A 100 person list is even
because it's not even West Coast, it's LA.
Yeah,
it's technically LA.
Yeah, and 100 lists.
So there's no E40, no Too Short on here. Keep in mind, none of the
already long, even if it's all of hip hop in general.
Yeah,
I feel like 50 is more of the sweet spot because then, really past 50, you're not really like, oh, this person belonged. This is definitely the 57th best artist. It's like you're really just ranking them against each other at that point rather than in order. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But I liked it just because I liked those people getting that kind of shine and that shout.
Oh, for sure.
That I like those lower tier West Coast
Lefty
rappers.
Gunplay was like 99 or something.
Yeah, he was 99.
Hey, he made the list though.
Yeah, he made the list though. RJ Mr. LA was like 76. Shout out my guy, RJ Mr. LA. I thought it was dope, but let's do this because I do want to have that conversation of like we're not gonna make the list today. We're not gonna make the list on air because that would take too long. But I would like to have the conversation of how that stacks against the East, the South, other major cities. Which Atlanta, just before we recorded, put out their list, or there was Complex. Sorry, put out a list of Atlanta. Right, it was Complex.
Yeah,
so we'll get to that
yesterday or something. When I seen the post said there.
I didn't see it till.
We late.
Yeah, I didn't see it till today. I was gonna say breaking news, but it's breaking news to me. But before we get to that part, just on the complex list or the game list, whichever list you want to take, who's the overrate and who's the underrate? Give me one. Give me one for each. An overrate and an underrate, and it could be on either list. Who's one you're looking at like, I think they're way too high or I think they're way too low?
Go to complex. I really don't want to do the game list.
Okay. Okay.
I'd rather do a group of people who put this together than just one person.
It was interesting though to see some people like Schoolboy Q and like and J Rock kind of like collectively around their same regions, and like Roddy Ricch.
Not necessarily overrated or underrated, but one that
YG was too. He was 15 on both lists actually. Exactly.
One that I find interesting is Everlast being on there, which Everlast is he had that song. I mean, I feel like he's hardly considered a rapper. He had that one song that was really big in the 90s that was, and then you really might know what it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, I mean, I guess he's considered a rapper technically, but like, what did he have outside of that song? Like, you know what I mean? I never really heard any other of his music. I don't understand.
Right below Ab Soul, by the way.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Is like, I don't really understand him making either of these lists per se.
Yeah.
Looking at this list, I would have to. Nipsey Hussle has to go up to like 20 something for sure. The game needs to go down to top 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm. So Nipsey's your overrate.
Definitely overrated.
Okay.
will.i.am being on here at all is crazy too.
will.i.am needs to be honestly top 10 if he is on here. I don't even see his name. Is he?
He's
42. Yeah, will.i.am need to be like top 10. Like what the fuck he fucking.
I got a feeling is in your top. That's the top.
It don't matter how. For one, he got way more than just that. Don't disrespect will.i.am.
But
I'm
also,
not even about to say I'm the biggest fan, but
maybe they're only counting like the rap records because that's not like.
I guess yeah.
But will.i.am really had like a good run in the early 2000s. Like
I know, but I'm not doing that because this is the LA rappers list, so I'm not giving them that bail. I think they're only counting the rap records that will.i.am is involved in.
What you mean though? Like you don't think he rapped on some of the songs in the early 2000 records? Okay, so
but not like the big ones. Not like tonight's gonna be a good night. You know what I mean? Like,
is that early 2000s? Like yeah, 2010s, ain't it? Like
that was more 2010s, but yeah, I
feel like that was
but
later.
Still.
No, that was like around Obama.
But still,
Obama
those hits that he's known for that carry. Listen, will.i.am's a great artist. I'm not, knocking the catalog. Overall, is 99% of artists would die to have that catalog and all the money that comes with that. But I'm not giving it to him off that. So that's your overrate. So
Lady Rage needs to be up in like top 20s because like she fucking was shitting on most of these hoes in the 90s. So,
okay, so that's
I'm
your
definitely throwing Lady Rage.
Noticing at least we're not talking about the game one at all, but no Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz is Pittsburgh.
I thought he was from
right. Yeah, but he's a West Coast. His whole career has been West Coast.
Bro, we can't keep doing that, bro. We can't keep doing that, bro.
Gatekeepers.
If that's the case, I'm about to just go over there and just become a West Coast rapper. If we're allowed to do shit like that,
That's different though, because all of his prominence was in the West Coast. He wasn't really popping before that.
Bro, not listening to Wiz.
Wasn't his first big song about the Steelers, Black and Yellow?
That was about a Camaro.
Well, I thought it was also kind of alluding to the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean those still his home. That's his home. Yeah. That's his state colors.
Doesn't he shout out Pittsburgh in that song?
Yeah, no, that's his state colors. Like I don't think he's a West Coast rapper. Like I don't at all. And on top of the fact, like, bro, you can't just, I like this sound over here, so I'm from over here, include me.
You
and
can't
over
colonize
here
that
fucking
sound.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's some bullshit. Like,
I mean, I do understand that, but his whole career has been West Coast centric music. It's been he's put next to Dom Kennedy. He's put next to Currency. He's put next to all these fucking these people that make a West Coast sound. Yeah. And he's bro, ONIFC, the entire tape is essentially West Coast riding music. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what a lot of it was, because it was Cali weed. It was Cali. It was all that shit back in the day.
Would you say that SOBRB is one of the greatest Detroit groups of all time?
No, because they make Bay Area music, not Detroit music.
Bro, they make literally the same type of music we make. Damn near.
That's the ongoing argument.
Okay, so I'm not saying who did what first, but I'm saying they're from over there and they make music that sound like us. So could we say that they one of the greatest Detroit rappers of all time just because they sound like
and live there and collaborate with those artists and
Wiz Khalifa was not living in no motherfucking Pennsylvania when we first started rapping. Stop it. We watched the blogs. I know you used to watch the blogs back in the day.
Wait,
not
you
the
said
vlogs.
What
the vlogs.
What are you saying exactly?
Wiz Khalifa.
You're saying
when he first came up,
yeah,
he was for a show in Pennsylvania.
Yes, I know at first, but I'm saying when he rose to prominence.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's my whole point. So I'm saying, like, if you go over there and you get big just off their sound over there, that's you gonna include them over there?
Not necessarily. All right, then I'm wrong. All right, that's fine.
I'm just wondering. I don't know. That's just, to me, that's like weird. That's like fucking I don't know, bro.
I don't all the way.
That's just me just going down to Florida and saying jit this, jit that, taking that whole lingo, saying, "Yo, I'm."
In my
include me in the top 50 Florida rappers because I'm using their lingo in their beats.
No, and which I understand that part, but I don't know. In my head, I forgot he was from Pittsburgh because he presents himself like he's from Cali.
I feel you though,
and he has for a long time. So that's like in my head, that's where it went. But yeah, you're right.
All right.
Where
what are you looking up? What are you looking? Here.
Fat Lip being on here is a deep cut too.
Yeah,
that was interesting. Because like I feel like not everybody knows who Fat Lip is, so it's cool to see him get like recognition on there.
Would you agree that Currency and Wiz have the same style?
Very similar, yeah.
Would you consider Currency a top 50 West Coast artist?
If you ask me right now if Currency was a West Coast artist, not really knowing that much about Currency, I would say he probably is. But you
know Currency though, so I'm talking about what you think.
I know who he is
because you know Wiz Khalifa too, but you said, you probably didn't think, you forgot that he was from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
so
well I knew he was from Pittsburgh, but because he was signed to the same label as Mac originally. But again, I'm just saying is that his entire, I guess everything. I mean, it goes a little bit again because the thing is, Pittsburgh doesn't really have a sound in itself. You know what I mean? So Pac had the East Coast sound already, and then transformed to the West. Like Wiz was essentially a free agent in a sense, and then went there. But either way, Currency. I thought Currency was from the West Coast the entire time. I don't know where he's from.
I think he's from somewhere in the South. New Orleans, yeah.
That's crazy. I never would know
because I knew he was from down south. I just couldn't remember what state.
So let me give you mine, and then Chris, I want to hear yours. My overrated, underrated. Yeah, man, that pop is doing something. That shit's crazy.
Shitting on my
mouth.
That's crazy.
So, what I gotta say, the overrate, and I'm sorry, I'm not knocking them that far back, but I am knocking them a bit back. I do gotta say Tyler at 5 is crazy to me. I'm sorry.
Top 10, easy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, for sure. I'm not debating that at all.
You can knock him past 5.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'd
not
say
gonna.
definitely argue. Like, it's definitely arguable to put him in the top 10. I wouldn't say easy because I feel like if you look at this list of top 10s, knocking off Nipsey Hussle, I don't know why Nipsey Hussle was in the top 10, but we're gonna put the game at number 10 for this conference
That one,
list.
no, man.
But when you
Nipsey's
look at
top
all,
10.
when you look
Nipsey's
at all
top
these
10. I'm not
artists,
doing
like all these artists have like these iconic songs that like the masses were singing, and I feel like Tyler the Creator came in a time where like. Cause like all these artists, except for Kendrick Lamar, like they came in when rap was fresh. So like you rapping to a crowd damn near all niggas. Like I don't think white people was necessarily really banging this shit back in the day. So like when you get like Tyler Creator, like now, like you know what I'm saying, he got like the little gay theatrics, this, that, and the third. He do like the shock value shit to grab people's attention. It's easy to do the numbers, but I don't hear the iconic music. I don't hear the quotables. I just don't see top 10 is when it comes to.
I thought you were going. I thought you were going totally different. I thought you were gonna say I just don't see him like having the West Coast sound. Therefore,
I mean, he don't have the West Coast sound, but I know he's from the West Coast, so like he's a West Coast artist, so like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take that from him.
I do kind of agree is that like I guess his highs may not be as high, but he has been more consistent than a lot of artists on this list, and I think that's absolute fact. He's been absolutely relevant in hip hop for the past 15 years, at least 16 years, and each album he's getting more and more right. He's still continuously rising at the end.
100%.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I could say depending on how we're looking at this from either lyrical ability, legacy, or whatever. But a lot of these artists a lot of their legacy stems from an album or two. When Tyler has had prominence for 16 years consistently. He hasn't really gone anywhere.
When you look at the top 10, it's either like most of these dudes well, I ain't gonna say most.
90s, 80s.
So it's like 90s, 80s. So it's like Snoop Dogg got a hell of a longevity track record. Ice Cube, Dr. Dre.
DJ Quick's a West Coast legend. You got Ice-T.
He's West Coast legend.
Ice-T was like a pioneer in the West. Easy-E, obviously. Be Real, obviously.
Easy-E, Demise came very short, and then you got The Game. I guess, I can agree with you on that for sure. But it's not really a lot of like names as big as Tyler the Creator when it comes to like this list.
Yeah, no, he is
household names.
He is probably the 5th most popular West Coast rapper of all time. Like I think, like popularity wise, where he's at, like
because it's like if you ask yourself, like,
because he's way more popular than Game.
How many people could throw that festival every year and sell it out in 5 hours consistently every fucking? You know what I mean? It's like he's a fucking unit in himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
goes outside of it. So it kind of depends how you look at it. Are you looking at it as just flat out lyrical ability? Because then I think this list could easily be flipped around a lot in a lot of different ways.
It'll be everybody's own criteria.
YG and Nipsey Hussle. Well, I would swap YG. I would put The Game where Nipsey Hussle is, and I'll swap YG and Nipsey. I feel like YG should be closer to a top 10 than
15.
Than Nipsey. Yeah,
I kind of agree. I can't put him over. Man, YG versus Nipsey is actually a great conversation. But I think everyone that's really in that
I don't think it is. Personally.
I think it is. But yeah, I mean,
and I don't even like YG.
Yeah,
I like Nipsey Hussle more than I like YG, but I just don't think Nipsey Hussle in totality is up there with YG. I feel like if he don't die, we don't be having these conversations. Period.
I don't know, man. That Victor Lap album was massive, and it was successful.
He won't be right here. Pass. I bet he'd probably be like right here if he don't die.
I think
he wouldn't.
I think he's easily at worst Schoolboy Q 17. After Victory Lap. Victory Lap was a Grammy nominated album. Like that was years before his passing.
It was, but like one thing about like when it comes to like these,
and he had
artists,
so much
like,
momentum.
We need something that when we say your name, something sticks. When we say Schoolboy Q, Studio, Oxymoron. When we say Nipsey before Victory Lap, You reaching for something. I don't know what it is, but we reaching for something.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at people like Be Real, and that's very, very much too
old school.
It's very much to LA. Like, I don't know a lot of people that
it is.
know.
I got.
And maybe that's not the best example because of how old he is.
He might have a song that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah.
Because I listen to a lot. My mama used to listen to a lot of old school. So there be songs like I don't know the artist, but like, it's one of those songs that's monumental for that time. So you know what I'm saying? Like DJ Quick definitely got one.
DJ Quick,
Dre, obviously, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick. The Game, MC8, Corrupt.
But like everyone that's there consistently in the West Coast will always say that, like, even before his death, like Nipsey was really one of them ones where like that was where the region.
You can't listen to West Coast people talk about West Coast people, because when you listen to West Coast people talk about West Coast people, you think these niggas is the greatest motherfuckers of all time, and then you listen to the rest of the country and everybody else, and it's like, yo, bro, like this guy kind of mediocre, bro. Is this all you listen to for real? Like on a day-to-day basis, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a JID over here, you know what I'm saying? We kind of gonna tap in with him a little bit. Y'all listen to him? Oh, y'all ain't listen to him?
Oh, I'm not saying none
it's
of
like
that
West
for
Coast,
Birdiie for being on this.
I promise you, like, West Coast is in a dome, like, an electric dome that, like, they all on the same fucking frequency.
Well, and that's what I feel like with, between, like, Nipsey and YG. I feel like their lanes are somewhat similar, but two different sides of the same coin, right? Like, Nipsey remained very big among LA, where YG, although, because I mean, I wouldn't say they make the same music, but it's relatively, they're in the same kind of lane of the own subcategory of West Coast, where it's like, it's a certain type of banger, it's a certain type of. YG just, I would say, it had like the more mainstream success. And
that's what I'm about to say. Like, YG just knew how to get these hoes to shake their ass, and Nipsey wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? If Nipsey was able to do that, maybe he might have some more notoriety. But like, YG was really in the club. Like, he was really at these parties for people. He was really
but he was Nipsey was putting you on to Dr. Sebi, shaking ass. Dr. Sebi, you gotta pick and choose your battle.
Listen, respect to Nipsey.
But of course.
Listen, the only thing I'm tying to Nipsey at this point is Victory Lap and his BM getting fucked by motherfucking Diddy. Like, these are the only two things I'm tying to him right now. Crazy. Like, dead ass.
That's crazy, man.
I ain't making nothing.
One of my personal favorite artists of all time. Victory Lap to me is like if I'm being real, I mean, y'all will hate that, but I probably can't name 20 rap albums I like better than that album. Like, I think it's like that. It's like that for me. But before we move on, I swear to God,
you can't name 20 albums better than Victory Lap.
I'm saying that I'm freestyling the number off top.
Man,
I'm freestyling the number off top.
I can name 5 Kendrick albums better than the Victory Lap. How many albums he got?
Crazy. We heard how you talking about those.
All right.
I have one quick question. How do you feel about Draco's spot on this list?
See, now that's one where
that's what I think that could be. That's really up to opinion of where people put it. You know.
Yeah, I think that one has a lot of fluid range. Because like on this list, they have him next to Vince Staples and Earl Sweatshirt, who I think are absolutely a class above him.
Hold up.
No disrespect.
Tiger got to go up too.
Yeah, Tiger got to go up for sure. But like Drako the Ruler, like just looking at the peers they have him at on his list, they have him in between and around Doja Cat, Tyga, Vince Staples, Earl Sweatshirt. If you want to remove Doja Cat because of how little she raps and whatever, that's fine by me. If you want to have like kind of the will.i.am conversation about her, that's fine. But that peer group, to me, Drako the Ruler I don't think he fits that tier. Like that's a good tier. Like Vince Staples, good artist. Earl Sweatshirt was a good artist.
Still
like Tyga, good artist. Like those are those ones that people will say are legends. They're not actually legends. They're just really good.
Well, Drako is. I mean, honestly, outside of most of this list, he's more.
I can't stand you.
Out of this list, Draco's one of the only because if you ask anybody in LA, they're gonna say he's a legend, but he's more of an underground legend than anything.
Right.
He never had the mate, so to see him there, but Is the top of the underground legend list? Where does
that high?
Where does that equate to the B to C tier of
rappers,
the mainstream artists or whatever? So I guess that's just I don't have an opinion. It's more of a question in general.
No, I agree with that. That's a very valid question. I don't have the answer to it, Sway.
Personally, this might be disrespectful. And I don't mean for it to be disrespectful at all whatsoever. But
go ahead, man.
I've heard more from Drako the Ruler when he was popping than Nipsey Hussle throughout his entire career. I'm sorry. And I heard hustle. Like, on MTV Jams, I heard it. Like, I was there. I seen the video. I used to wait for it to come on and everything. But after that, bro, like, shit's quiet, bro. It's been quiet for a long time. And
it's about to be 3 episodes from now, and you be like, I know this album's good. I just got to say it's better than Nipsey Hussle.
Listen, I heard, you know what I'm saying? I heard Drako the Ruler flew flaming and all that.
Yeah.
Whatever the lingo. He had a whole bunch of lingo going on. You know what I'm saying? That shit was fire. That's one thing I give to. That shit was fire. But I ain't gonna lie. I feel like
that's how you know it's like the most authentic is when it's getting to lingo. We don't even know what the fuck.
Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about, but that shit sound hard. That shit sound hard for sure. Honestly, I would have threw fucking like Geechee Gotti over Nipsey Hussle or some shit, cause like I mean maybe that's cause I pay attention to battle rap, so it's like I just hear more from Geechee Gotti than I do Nipsey Hussle, and I feel like Nipsey Hussle being the bigger artist, if your name is so prominent and you a top 10 tier type artist of your city or whatever, I should hear more from you personally. That's what I think.
I feel like you're doing a good job crashing out. You're almost there, and I think I can really get you to crash out.
Wait, actually, if we do, since you mentioned battle rappers, then would you put, in a perfect world, would you put Daylight on this list?
I only listen to,
because I don't really know. I don't really know what his battle rap is like.
I never really listen to a lot of his music. I only listen to his battles, and sometimes like I done heard a few songs, and like
battle rappers,
he kind of just music. Like do too much like
battle rappers,
battle
terrible
rap,
music,
rapish type like lines.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And it'd be like shit like,
why you taking 8 lines to get to one line?
Yeah, like nah, bro. Like, and that's a problem with a lot of battle rappers. Like. They don't know how to stay in battle rap mode, and they don't understand that it's a beat here now.
It's one
gear. You kind of got to go with the beat and kind of have that vibe of the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to have rhythm.
Yeah, and that's why I think like Sue Surf is one of the best. Sue Surf one of the best battle rappers of all time because you know how to do both.
All right, let me get you to crash out. Complex. A group of people collectively decided. They sat down, they hashed this out for days, for probably weeks to craft out this list. And they ultimately landed on Blueface over Yeet.
Bro, I don't think Yeet from LA, bro. I thought he was from Oregon.
Oh, no, shit, you're right. Damn it. I almost had him to crash out.
From Oregon
or Washington or some shit like that.
I thought he's somewhere from a random city in California.
I thought he was like, or I thought it was like somewhere in Nevada or something. You know what? Now that you
know it's not Los Angeles. If it is California, it's definitely not Los Angeles. I know that, but I thought it was a whole different state. For sure.
Where the fuck is he from? Damn it.
He's from Irvine, California.
Irvine? Okay.
What the fuck is Irvine?
So technically,
it might still be in LA. It might still be in LA because LA is a county.
That's what it is. It is. So it's in Orange County, but it's the Los Angeles metropolitan
Probably
area.
when I seen Orange County, I thought Oregon.
Well, yeah, because Orange County is like below LA a little bit. But it's like between LA and San Diego, from what I understand.
So close enough to be LA, and they still didn't put him on this fucking list.
It says literally like, it says he's from Irvine, Orange County, California, in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. Whether that's considered Los Angeles, it's hard to say. I don't know. I mean,
it sounds like to say. Maybe they couldn't figure out if it was or it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like, close enough to qualify.
But the rapper put him in the top 100, so we can go with what the rapper says. He's a top 100 LA artist.
Cool. Well, no, you know what?
You're cool. You're cool with him being like 87 or whatever.
Like, he's just west of like, or he's just east of Long Beach.
I think.
So if Vince Staples is in there,
okay,
fair.
Yeah, nah. I think personally,
so Blueface is better than Yeet.
I think.
What do you got to say to Complex?
He said, "Now let me get mad."
I think that.
Now that we fact check.
Personally, we should have put him over Kendrick Lamar. Like, if you ask me, like, we should have put him over Kendrick Lamar. But, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's list is wrong to somebody. Yeah. Everybody's list is wrong to somebody. That's perfectly fine because he wouldn't even have made it in my top 10.
Blueface.
Huh?
Blueface, dog. Blueface.
He real West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Schoolyard, Crip, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this guy's too cool, man.
He kind of like, I don't know, bro. He is like from Oregon or some shit. I don't know.
He's not even, but we just confirmed, but he's like, yeah, he's from Oregon. I don't know.
He's just a chill guy. He's just a chill guy for sure.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He too fresh, cool. Dog. He too fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Too fresh.
Drakeo, he been out for a minute. I'm listening to Drake since like 2018, 2017. So maybe you give Yeet like another year, they'll throw him on there.
But you're not mad at them? It's crazy. You're not mad at them?
Complex always doing some dumb ass shit. When is Complex not doing no dumb ass shit?
I just wanted to get you fired up.
Portland?
I failed.
For high school.
Is that in Oregon?
Yeah, that's Portland, Oregon. But most of his childhood and I'm sure adult life at this point, he spent most of his life.
So he's an Oregon rapper actually, because he moved over to Oregon
for a moment.
You know what I'm saying? Like kind of highlight.
That's true.
Tupac moved to.
That's true. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
The math checks out. Last thing.
He got that Oregon sound.
Last thing when it comes to the LA
Portland
list,
feel.
Amine, and that's
I thought Punch made a great point on Twitter. I thought this was a great point. I'll see if the room agrees. I have no clue what you guys feel about this. But he tweeted out, he said, hey, the list was cool, but he said that I think you should do lists by eras rather than having them as an all-in-one list. And the analogy he brought up is that Bob Cousy will get shitted on by Kyrie Irving, but Bob Cousy was necessary to the game.
Yeah, and that's a good point because that also would solve the issue of like, okay, like
Ice-T over game
on this list next to Tyler the Creator. It's like, you know, the long term relevance. I guess actually that isn't a bad idea of like splitting it up by era. But I mean, it's hard.
But we never do it in sports, so we're not going to do it now.
Yeah.
I think that's smart. I think that's right. I think that's fair. I just don't think we're gonna do that ever.
I'm just not.
Because look, we still have Jordan LeBron debates all the time. Mm-hmm. People have been saying for decades, oh man, Jordan's era, LeBron's era, like making comparisons, and it's like we should just separate them. And it's like, bro, motherfuckers are not gonna do that. Because we want an argument. we want to fight. We want to fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's a brilliant idea. I would love that list. I think that would make a lot of these lists a lot more agreeable and a lot more digestible. But I think that's where the disconnect comes in, is you have people that don't know who Be Real is, and they're like, why the fuck is he right next to Tyler the Creator? Mm-hmm. I never heard no Flower Boy out of him, or you know what I mean?
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
Who the fuck is Tangus Pangus? Exactly. So, for me, I like that idea. I just don't think we're gonna get there. Lastly, looking at this list, LA. So I guess you gotta make it city, because they did the Atlanta one. And maybe we'll do like a separate video on that because we've been kind of running along on this. Maybe we'll split it up or whatever. But you have Atlanta, you have New York, you have Detroit, you have Chicago. You have a lot of big cities in hip hop. Like I'd say probably you have like 7 to like 10 like big rap cities. I think when you look at these lists, I think it's a pretty friendly reminder that while the West Coast makes some of my personal, Chris Platty's personal favorite music, like, dog, if New York drops a list tomorrow and they haven't done shit in 15 years, they are taking LA to the cleaners. Mm-hmm. That list is loaded. It is taking it to the cleaners. Atlanta list, we didn't get to that yet. I feel like that's probably going to be better than LA. I haven't looked at it yet. We'll see. Think about LA. Like, that top 10 that we're all kind of like, yeah, okay, maybe you move like number 12 or number 15 to 10, but like it's a pretty overall, pretty fair top 10 that Complex has. And I'm looking at that top 10. I'm just thinking in my head of 10 people from New York, 10 people from Atlanta. I don't know, man. Look, I love LA. I love the music. I love the vibe. LA might not want to have these top 50 conversations as a city. Respect to them because they're one of the few cities that can have a top 50 though. Like I said, it is only like 5, 6, 7 cities that can really have like a top 50 conversation, or in Game's case, a top 100, and most of the names. But man, when I start stacking it up, like I'm gonna do a Detroit list. Let's see how that would look 1 through 50 as opposed to an LA. Because if you're looking at Blueface at 50, I feel like we could take him.
I feel like you ain't gonna make it to 40 without being disingenuous. And I mean disingenuous. I mean you gonna end up just finding Detroit,
names,
that you don't listen to and just throw them on there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's impossible to name 50 Detroit artists that you know of and music that they've made.
Yeah.
25 is doable.
25 is definitely doable. That's easy as fuck.
Well,
50, me personally, I can do 50 Detroit artists, I think. But I feel like you can't.
And also,
I feel like you just challenged me.
The people consuming
I feel challenged.
The people consuming that list, like the LA list, we still know who number 50 is. The people, if like anybody outside of the greater Metro Detroit area, whatever, was consuming the Detroit list, they wouldn't know who number 50 is. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. So how many cities would you put over LA if you're just spitballing it?
Atlanta.
Would you just do Atlanta and New York, or would you include Detroit or Chicago or some of these other major cities?
You could do Chicago, I feel like you can do Chicago at this point.
And keep in mind, you can factor it how you want, because, like, say, like, okay, number 50 might not be as good as Blueface, but, like, I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Maybe I kind of like Detroit's top 10 if I'm freestyling it over LA's top 10.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, I don't know.
See what I'm saying? So, like, you can make that argument of, well, yeah, number 50 might be better than number 50, but top 10 better than top 10. You know what I mean?
They got Dr.
We can get subjective.
They got Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Kendrick, and Snoop Dogg.
Like,
Snoop Dogg, I've been arguing with niggas. I've been telling Snoop Dogg better than Tupac for the longest. So it's hard for me. You know what I'm saying?
And
just
New York's got Snoop Dogg or Tupac.
We don't have as much presence.
No, Baltimore does.
Played Icewood. You know, you know what I mean? We don't have a lot of 90s presence per se, besides
true.
You know, you have Jay Dilla, Slum Village, and outside of like that, there wasn't that much. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Chicago, they could get in there for sure, because at this point, they got the artists from the drill era, they got the artists from the early 2000 eras, Twisted, Kanye, Common, you know what I'm saying, and probably a few from the 90s I can't think of. So I know Chicago could probably hop in there with possibly 50.
See, I'm blanking on like Chicago 90s. No.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't even think of Chicago 90s. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure they had some of the artists. I mean, obviously Twista was 90s for real, but
true.
I can't really think all the Chicago artists.
Crucial Conflict. Yeah. Oh, Erykah Badu, but that's not rap.